channel. This is the first video out of my university series, and I'm gonna share my experience with how I decided to came to the UK and study here. If you'd like to follow along, just subscribe to my channel and turn on that notification bell so you can get notified whenever I'm posting a new video, which is usually Wednesday and Sunday at 10 in the morning. You can also follow my Instagram, which I'm gonna leave somewhere around here, and that's where I'm posting more personal stuff, but is where I'm announcing as well all the videos that come out. This is the first video of my university series, and we're gonna talk about how my life is at University of West London, how to find a job in London, budgeting, and all things that are student and uni related. I can't believe there's been 2 full years since I've been to London. That's 2 years full of experiences, full of dreams and hopes and disappointments as well. But in essence, that's 2 years that's full of growth. I knew I wanted to do something about university in this period of time, and that's where a good friend of mine, shout out to you Yasmin, asked me if I would like to write an article that she could use for the brand that she manages. And I was like, wait a minute, why should I write an article when I can make a video? And why make a video when I can make a series of videos? And that's when it hit me that I'm gonna do this series and I'm gonna talk about everything that I wish I knew before I came here for the first time. For today's video, I'm gonna talk about how I decided to come to the UK and study here. I'm from Romania, and that's where I've been basically my whole life. I came in England once around 2012, but I didn't have the chance to visit London that much because we didn't stay in the city, so I only visited like the main attractions that were in the city center. But the end of high school was approaching, and I needed to make a decision about how my future is gonna look like, because when you finish high school, you're considered an adult, even though 5 minutes before that you weren't even allowed to go to the bathroom without asking for permission first. But that's just another story. So I struggled to find the thing that I'm good at and I wouldn't be bored as hell to do for the rest of my life. I didn't know what to do exactly. I knew I was good at English and communication, and I wanted to do something related to these two, but I didn't know exactly what that was. So once my English teacher asked me if I would like to go to this university fair that had mostly international universities, and when I got there, I was mesmerized with the amount of courses that were available that were all related to what I wanted to do. Because in Romania, in my city, and I live in a capital, which is pretty sad, you only have 2 courses if you want to do something related to advertising or PR or something like that. So only 2 courses in the same city. There wasn't much variety, which is where I knew exactly that I'm gonna study abroad. I'm afraid that the application process might change soon, because as we all know, the UK is not part of the European Union anymore, and Romania it is, so I applied as a European student, which is very nice because I got offered the student loan. But I don't know how that's gonna go. I know for 1 more year they're still approving that and they're still going with the same procedures. So if you'd like to come here and you finished high school already, apply as fast as you can, because it's very uncertain what will happen after 2021. So I researched a lot about what I want to study and what course I want to choose and what university I want to go to. And that took me the longest time. That and working on my personal statement. I'm gonna do a separate video about how to ace your student statement and how to get accepted to all the universities you apply to, because that's what I did. I got accepted to all 5 of them, and that made it just that much more harder to choose out of them all, just one. So after I got accepted, the only thing that I needed to do was just pack my stuff and leave. And I left everything behind basically. It was me and my boyfriend, so thank God I was not alone. But I left my family, I left my friends, I left my pet, I left my house, I left everything behind in searching for a new and better life. And looking back, I wouldn't have done it different. I mean, I would have, but not in the case that I would have gone at all. I would have just been a bit more careful with my accommodation, which is the next part of the story. So we got here, and before coming here we were quite desperate to find something. We were very far, so we couldn't visit places physically, and we thought that we would rent something beforehand, because in Romania you can do this type of things. So you just send money to someone and they reserve the property for you. And we did that, and we sent quite a lot of money for us at the time. We sent a deposit which was around £1,300, and we secured an apartment that was super nice. It wasn't very big, it wasn't very fancy, but it was amazing. It was quite close to my university as well, so it was everything that I've ever wished for. And we got there, and I kept talking to the landlord, and I got to that place, and the landlord stopped answering at all. Like, I couldn't get a hold of him. So we waited for him for 4 hours in front of that building, which wasn't the building that we rented, obviously, because it was a scam. We stood there for 4 hours, hungry, with all of our luggages with us. We paid so much because we didn't know that National Express existed. So we took an Uber from Luton to Ealing. And if you know where these two places are, you know that it's pretty expensive to get an Uber. So after that, we realized it was a scam. So we started to find ideas about what to do afterwards so that we are not homeless. We had a bit of money left, and we had a friend who offered to take us into his house and stay there until we figure something out. So we went there. It was in the other side of London, so it was south of London, so we had to take an Uber again from Ealing to where we were in the south of London. Some more money spent on something that was not planned. We got there, we stayed there for about 2 weeks until we finally found someone, a friend of ours, that had a room in a place that was filled with Romanians. And that was where we stayed for the next almost 1 year. I think it was around 8 months though. But it wasn't a very pleasant experience. It wasn't something that I want to remember about and cherish these precious moments. It was awful. I didn't like it at all, but it was cheap. It was what we had there. It was secure, and we had a roof above our head. We had everything we wanted. So that's how we got to London. I then found a job eventually. Both me and my boyfriend found a job, and we started to be able to save some money and look into moving away from there. And after about 1 year, we finally moved to this place, which is, let me tell you, what I've always dreamed about. It's white, it was empty, I was able to decorate it. I feel like it's my place, even though I'm renting and it's definitely not mine. But I feel happy now. And that's when I restarted my YouTube channel, because I was in such a positive and good mindset. And that's really the story of how I came to the UK. So it was an easy experience for me because I was a European student, and it is still easy to apply as a European student. I don't think anyone knows how it's gonna be after 2021, as I mentioned before. But that was the story of how I got here, how I got scammed, and then uni started. So that was exciting, and that was such a cool experience. And I have all the greatest words to talk about UWL, which is my university, but that will be the next video. And I'm gonna do so many more videos about university life and student life and living in London as a student. So if you'd like to get more information about that, just subscribe to my channel. It will help me a lot. Turn on that notification bell so you get notified whenever I post. And this was my story, so there wasn't a lot of information in it, but I just wanted to give you a bit of context about how I got here and my experience from the beginning. If you have any requests or recommendation or ideas of videos that I might do, I'm open to just leave them in the comments down below or drop me a DM on Instagram. That was the video for today. That was my short story of how I got into London, and I'm gonna start the series now. So subscribe and let the university series start.